This might sound funny, but in many ways, the acoustic guitar was my first love. I mean, when you think about it, I was only 14 years old when I started playing guitar, and it was an acoustic guitar, so it kind of makes sense. And being a child from the 90s, MTV's Unplugged was very much a part of the zeitgeist. You had very great performances by Nirvana. I guess Pearl Jam might have done one, but Eric Clapton was the breakthrough one that kind of made everything kind of go from there. So today we're going to be learning Eric Clapton's song Hey Hey, or it might be a cover of a song Hey Hey, I don't know, but we're going to be learning it anyway. So all you need for this is your acoustic guitar. You don't even need a pick. So we're in standard tuning. Go ahead and grab your guitar and let's go ahead and get at it. My name is Keith. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so welcome back. Today we're going to be learning Eric Clapton's Hey Hey off of his Unplugged album. We'll get to the whole thing here, but that's what we're going to be learning today. But before we get started, all tabs, charts, diagrams that I put on any of my videos are available for free via my Patreon. All you have to do is be a free member. But today we are not going to be using tabs, charts, diagrams. We're going to be kind of going Marty Schwartz style and just going without those. In my opinion, it's nice to know and use all this theory, but sometimes you just want to turn all that off in your brain and just have fun with the guitar, which is what we're going to be doing today. At least I hope so. And speaking of Patreon, a huge shout out goes to all my paid members. It really keeps me motivated, so thank you so much. Names in the description. Can't express my gratitude enough. One last thing, Sweetwater links or affiliate links are in the description, so if you shop at Sweetwater, need any gear, if you click one of those links before you make a purchase, a small tiny fraction goes my way. It's a great way to support the channel, so I would encourage that. If not, it's all good. Let's just have fun with the guitar. So let's go ahead and get started with this lesson. Alright, so let's run through the whole thing one time. It's important to know this is a 12-bar blues in the key of E, so the 1 chord will be an E, the 4 chord would be an A, and the 5 chord would be a B. We'll run through it once and break it down into manageable chunks. So now that we got that down, let's start with bars 1 through 4, which would be the E chord. So to do this, it's pretty cool. This is why I like this song so much, was because of this slide. So we're going to be taking that 2nd fret of the A string, sliding up to the 7th fret, and getting this. And then kind of hit that low E string, kind of pluck it, the open low E string. Then next up is this guy. So right out of this, we're going to take the pinky, or this is what I like to use, on the 8th fret of the B string and the 7th fret of the G string, bend it up, and then open B and E string, so it'll sound like this. The next section will be this part. What am I doing there? So it will be this kind of triad looking thing here. So that would be the 9th fret of the G string, 8th fret of the B string, and 9th fret of the high E string, and you're going to do this. And then keep your index finger planted on that B string 8th fret, and then hit that, then open E string, then open B string. So it'll sound like this. And that will complete kind of bars 1 and 2. And then you do the same thing for bars 3 and 4. So let's run through it twice. Basically, it's doing this whole thing twice. Let's do it. Now notice that I'm hitting this low E string a couple times. That first time, then the low E string with my thumb, then. Alright, now we're going to go to the A chord. We're going to slide down on the E string. Doesn't matter where you do it, as long as you just, it could be from the 9th fret to the 7th fret up here. I typically just pick a spot around here and then hit that open A string. What am I doing there? So once I slide down and hit that A, I'm gonna hit the G, B, and E strings open, and then kind of do this guy here. So it's kind of like an A7, right? So I'm borrowing the G, B, and E string on the 2nd fret, and then the high E string, I'm gonna keep it on the 3rd fret. So open, then like that. And then what I'm doing here, taking that 3rd fret of the high E string off and exposing that 2nd fret of the high E string. Then open. So it's kind of quicker. It's then from there, rolling back to that E chord. Do that once. Now we're going to go to the B. What am I doing there? So on the D string, 2nd fret, slide it to the 4th fret, and then I'm going to keep this planted on the 4th fret, the D, G, B, and E strings. This is the way I like to do it. Slide up from the D string, 2nd fret to the 4th fret, then hit it again. And then the B string on the 4th fret, then the E string on the 5th fret, and then 7th fret, then 5th, again, then slide it back down. That's that A chord, right? So the B chord, A chord, B, 2nd fret of the E string, 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the E string, open E string. So it's so together with that B and A chord. Right? And then from there, we're going to go to the turnaround. So what I do here is take that E chord, right? But you start off with an E minor, and then you're going to hammer on the G string 1st fret to make that full open E chord. So let's alright, so what am I doing here? This is where it kind of gets complicated to explain, but I'll try my best. So you do that hammer on like I just explained, then open B, then 3rd fret of the E string, open B, open E. That's where we're at so far. Then hit the open B. So it's essentially what we're doing with our pinky is this: open B, 3rd fret of the E, open B, open E, B, then you hammer down and pull off of the E string 3rd fret, then 3rd fret of the B string, then high E string. It's good practice there, but do that with your pinky now. So even hammer down again here. Then you go through the whole thing again. And that is a wrap. So with all that said and done, if you enjoyed the video, if you found anything helpful, please give me a thumbs up or a like or whatever they call it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back next week with some more videos. And I do realize acoustic guitar videos don't really get that many views, but I freaking love acoustic guitar, so what am I gonna do? So until next week, I'll see you later. I don't have a pick, so no flicking of the pick. That's all we get. So talk to you later.